Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I'm kind of in a dilemma, I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm. Okay.
So, what do you like? So, let's just say like you broke a man's trust. Like, what can you do to like get it back?
What did you do?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, everything was going well with me and him for a while, and then I kind of got like other people involved. So like I got like one of his girls that he dealt with before to like tell me information about him and stuff, and then I kind of just like used it against him.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw that as like a trust, like I broke his trust or whatever. I kind of was just like trying to get him, and I was like, okay, I'm done, because I saw myself catching feelings, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, oh, you're just too good to be true. Oh, this person said this and this about you. Like, you were lying to me this whole time about who you are, basically.
Okay.
Do you get it? What I'm saying?
So things were going well. You didn't
So
trust
yeah.
it, so you reached out just to find evidence that he was not as good as he was claiming himself to be.
Yeah, basically, things were going way too well, and I was just
Okay.
like trying to protect myself, I guess,
Okay.
you know.
And the
So
question
I
is,
messed up on that part, and then and then here's the catch. So basically, like I did mess up. I kind of like blew it up in his face, and then I just like left the country for like 2 weeks and just didn't say anything to him. So I like just gave him the chance to like basically heal from everything that happened. And I literally just like I came back and I was like, I'm sorry. And he was just like, no, I'm not taking your apology.
mm-hmm,
Like you did what you did, basically.
mm-hmm,
And like I've been trying to get his like I've been taking accountability. He said I don't take accountability. And I was like, I'm taking accountability now. Like I try to get him back, but he's just not folding. So I don't know if I just like let it go, I guess.
y'all aren't actively together, so he never actually did take you back.
We weren't together, but we were together, if that makes sense. Like we were working on like actually being together,
How long did you
you
date him?
know? Like I didn't really take him serious. It's for like maybe 3 months.
Okay. What do you mean you didn't take him serious?
Like I just had a lot going on in my personal life. Not gonna lie, like I had like a major death in my family.
Hmm.
My mom passed away, so I kind of wasn't really trying to like be vulnerable and like let somebody in, but he somehow managed for me to let him in. And then when I did let him in, I was like, oh my God, this is going too well. Like, you know,
Yeah.
kind of got scared a little bit.
How old are you two?
I'm 28.
28. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Well, yeah. I mean, love. If he's not open to hearing you out, I mean, you got to move on, right? When you first asked this question, I assumed the dynamic was y'all were in a relationship and hit a rough patch, right? That's something that's workable, but y'all actually never got into relationship territory, right? Um,
Yeah, true, but not true at the same time. I don't know. I feel like we were kind of like working towards that, but I kind of would always like start like little problems here and there, but those were like fixable. But what I did the last time, like involving a third party, was like something that really kind of just changed the whole dynamic, and he kind of felt like, and he doesn't like that girl. He hates her. Like he actually says the girl's obsessed with him and like all these things. So he like saw that like, why would you go to that person out of everybody? Like he literally does not like the girl at all,
right,
you know?
right.
And
I mean, what I'm getting at
basically, like,
is,
I tried.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
What I was getting at was like if this was a situation where y'all were actively in a relationship, right, and y'all hadn't broken up, but it was like he was just mad at you, workable. But what you're describing is someone who's not trying to deal with you at all because of this situation, right?
Yeah, true. But I feel like at the same time, we were working towards that. It's just, I kind of just sabotaged it, I guess, and just ruined it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, for
And I
sure.
have like a problem where like I wasn't being very accountable. at first, I kind of just expected him to get over it. Like, oh, I was emotional. Like, that's what girls do, basically, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
he took it as a personal attack. And, like, he said that I hurt him and that I violated him and all these things. So I'm just like, I don't know. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know. Like, that is the, like, I did mess up, but, like, I don't know. Hurt is kind of, like, crazy, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's that bad, you know?
I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, it might not have hurt you, but people respond to things differently, right? Um, so yeah, this is something that you can't really control, unfortunately. Maybe you know in the near future he opens up to the possibility of reconnecting, but I wouldn't wait around for it. I would learn the lesson from this situation to not sabotage, right? To work on whatever internal things that are causing you to not trust situations when they are actually a good fit, so that whether something works out with him or a guy in the future, you don't go down this path again and end up messing up the situation.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not gonna lie, he was actually really good to me. He was actually like really, really good to me. It was just me that wasn't reciprocating that, I guess, and just like sabotaged it. But I
Hmm.
tried to reach out, but I feel like me leaving the country and like just going on vacation and just coming back 2 weeks later was like, oh, you
Oh yeah, that
know,
definitely
I
sealed the
kind of
deal.
gave him. Yeah, I kind of just didn't say anything while I was gone. I just came back and I was like, oh, here, I'm back. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
you know. And he was like, you can't just do that, like you did hurt me. And he was genuine with me, and he was like, he was legit, he was serious, you know. And he felt like I wasn't reciprocating that. But I guess I'm gonna have to just let it go, because I did try to get it back, but he's just not folding.
Yeah, but best
Yeah.
of luck to you, love. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Okay, Kendra.
Hello,
Yeah, how you doing?
by the grace of God,
Good. What can I do for you?
uh, I just joined the life and
All right. I try not to judge the accent. Sometimes the accents are a day to give away, but I try to give grace. But yeah. I already know what time it is. Hello.
hello.
How you doing?
Another day above ground is a good day, right?
Right, right. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I have a question.
Hmm.
I've been seeing this guy for about 6, 7 months now.
Okay. 6, 7. All right.
Yeah, 6, 7,
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah.
He expects exclusivity, but doesn't show accountability or consistency.
Okay.
And the way he made it seem is like I'm wrong for expecting that. But I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like if you're asking me to be exclusive and you're asking me to take it to that level, I need that consistency. I need to know that I can count on you if things go south. And I don't know if I'm wrong for feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually creating like a little distance between us
Yeah.
because his actions don't match.
Okay. So when you say consistency, what are you referring to?
Making plans and actually sticking to them. I understand he's got a very demanding job. He's a pilot. I can understand that.
Okay.
But still, like, if we make arrangements, like, don't keep me waiting. Simple as that. It's a simple text. It's a simple call. It's a simple, hey, I can't make it, you know?
Uh-huh. So is he
Um,
like making plans with you and then canceling but then not communicating with you?
yeah.
Okay. So if he says let's get dinner at 7 p.m., you'll wait around, 7 p.m. will come and you don't hear anything from him, so you just assume that it's canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you brought this up to him? I imagine you have.
I have, but he's like, you gotta understand my job is demanding. And I do, because I was in the aviation world. I was a flight attendant. So
Okay.
when the math don't math, I start questioning things.
Right. As you should. Like I would be with him if he had to cancel dates. Right? Busy. That makes sense. But you're
Hmm.
saying that he's canceling dates and then not even communicating to you that the date has been canceled.
Exactly.
That's
So I'll sit here dressed and everything, ready to go.
right. So you specifically brought up the fact that him not communicating is the real problem.
Yes.
And what was his response to that?
He kind of deflected it and made it like I'm overreacting.
Okay.
And it's not like it's happened once or twice. It's like it's adding up and
Hmm.
it's building. And the more it builds, the more resentment I'm starting to grow towards him.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can't really work in a relationship with somebody like that, right? This is giving you a lot of information, right? So like the surface level problem is you're going to make plans and those plans can not only be canceled at any minute, but also you won't know the plans have been canceled until after the meetup time has passed, right? Real problem. But that's a surface level problem, right? The deeper problem is you bring this up and it's not treated like it's a serious issue,
Exactly.
right? So that's a oh I can't trust you problem, right? I can't feel safe with you problem because what's stated can't be expected to occur. And then if we do have an issue, if I do bring a problem to you, I'm not going to be heard because you're looking at it as it's not a big deal to you, therefore it shouldn't be a big deal, period. But you're also not the person being negatively impacted by it, which is basically communicating a lack of empathy.
Okay.
All right. So, big
Thank you
issue.
very much. That answers my question.
Oh, okay. Just having me articulate it like that helps you out.
That's all I needed. I
All right.
needed some reassurance.
I got you. I got you. Well, best of luck,
Thank
love.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. You have a
Bye-bye.
good one. Okay. Style by Brene.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Great. So I just have a quick question. Like, okay, quick scenario.
Okay.
Well, not even a scenario. I'm gonna put y'all in my business real quick.
All
But
right.
I was dating this young man,
Uh
and he was like, I say young man, but he was like 8 years older than I. And we were like good, like, you know, from the beginning he treated me how I wanted to be treated, all of the things. Once we hit a roadblock in our relationship, you know, it was really hard for him to come back from that. And like so much so that like even one night we were playing like this couples game, and he had expressed during the game that like, you know, it's hard to, once somebody that he's dating rubs him the wrong way, or hits a trigger, it's hard for him to come back from, it's hard for him to like them the same, you know,
Okay.
and it's hard for him to come back from that. And so for me, I just didn't understand, because I feel like we're both at an age where we don't want to keep dating around. You know, the dating pool is full of, excuse my language, piss and shit anyway. So it's just like, you know, for me, I didn't understand like why like we couldn't stick through the situation, because for me, if we were dating with purpose, and the goal was to, you know, eventually like, you know, be married and all of the things. But that roadblock happened, and it happened like maybe more than once. And just for context, like, you know, I had said something that was slick to him that he didn't like, and he felt it was disrespectful. And so it wasn't like I called him out of his name, like, or anything like that, or disrespected him in front of anybody, but like he felt what I said to him was disrespectful, and let him tell it happened like more than once. But it's just like, I'm learning. I haven't dated in a long time. We literally were only a year in, so we were still getting to know one another too. Even though a lot had transpired within that year.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want like a man's perspective on like, you know, why that is, or for me, should I be feeling like somebody should be fighting for me, or I don't know. Like, I just would like some perspective on that from a man.
Got you. Okay. So you said y'all were a year in.
Mm-hmm.
You said something slick to him. He already communicated to you that when certain events happen, certain things transpire, he kind of never shakes it off. Is that how you explained it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like we basically, I said something slick, and it really like he felt like I disrespected him, like, and he equated what I said, or he equated the level of disrespect with like as if I like cheated on him.
Gotcha.
Like, I personally didn't feel like it was at the level of cheating. For me, yes, we probably gonna disrespect each other. Now, this is not a normal thing, but it's like we're gonna like have to hit our heads against each other here and there because we're still learning each other. But that doesn't mean that like I don't still want to grow with you, or I don't still want to be here.
Right.
But like literally, it just went downhill after that.
Okay. What did you say?
Honestly, it's so like, to me, it's so minuscule. I basically told him, what did I say? I can't even remember, to be honest. But one time I did, like, when we were trying to mend our relationship, but he was like, I felt like we were trying to mend it, but he was like still rejecting me, so to speak. And it really wasn't giving me the response that I felt like I wanted. So I did say something like, I've been left by better people. But that wasn't even the first thing that I said. That got to a build up because I felt like he was hurting me. And it was a lot of avoidance and a lot of just past trauma that he's like, yeah, I just don't deal with disrespect from women. And it was like, okay, well, you knew in the beginning that I was a little spicy, so, and I'm not excusing that because I do want to consider a man being vulnerable with me, and letting me know like, hey, like, this is what I do like and don't like. Although he did also.
So here's the thing, right? So like, I'll approach this from another angle, okay? It's good on you trying to seek out clarity. That shows some humility, right? So I'm not coming down hard on you at all. There's women who come on this live and they ask questions like how to be more attractive to men, right? How to be a little bit more seductive to men. And I tell them, you just appeal to the male ego, right? You look at any kind of sex worker, anything like that, these women are really good at winning the affection of men because they appeal to the male ego. It's very important to us, right? And it's so important that you win a man by appealing to his ego. Does that make sense? You are doing the opposite of that. You're tearing him down. You're tearing down his ego. Right? So if winning him over means making him feel like the man, ruining the connection is making him feel less than. So on your end, it's just like, I just said something slick to you. But from the male psyche perspective, you did one of the worst things you could possibly do. You just said I've been left by better people, right? So that now, like, entering into a relationship, a guy's probably already somewhat insecure about the past people you've dealt with, and now you're amplifying that by saying, yeah, all these other people who have left were better than you. You can't easily come back from something like that. Just one of those statements can ruin a relationship, let alone you stacking multiple statements like that on top of one another.
Now, it wasn't multiple statements like that. I think that was like the most. That was the cruelest thing that I did say to him, that, like, looking back on it, I could have, not said that, but it was such, and I don't want to minimize what his feelings were or whatever, but like literally the first thing that I said to him, it did not, I personally feel like, warrant us to be at a crossroads where he didn't know if he wanted to continue on with me or not, but still doing all the things, but like literally like telling me that he wanted to still try or that he was trying, but still like days and days not hearing from him until I hit him,
We
and
can't.
it was
We
just
and
like, okay,
he
well,
probably did want to be honest. But it's like guys really don't come back from stuff like that.
and it's so crazy because it's like literally he he did something multiple times to me,
Mhm.
and I forgave him. And then when we were like on our break, but we were still, y'all know how I go, like we were still like kicking it and doing all of the things, right?
Mhm.
He literally like was all on threads and like engaging with women in an inappropriate or in a relationship.
I hear you. Listen, I'm sure that he did wrong things too. This isn't like
But it's like how can y'all just be so like dead? For me, I learned a lesson. Like, you know
Mhm.
what, when it ain't right, and it cut their ass off, because that's what a man does. Like don't overly be considerate, or don't like sit up and like constantly try to work and figure something out. Like for me, it's like how can you be that way when your shit stink too?
Yeah, but you can't get mad at someone for having self-respect, right? So if your takeaway from this is like you should also have self-respect, meaning that when you saw him talking to other women, you should have left. I agree with you. I don't disagree. But you can't get mad at him because he's not lowering his self-respect to match yours.
Okay, I receive that.
Hmm. That's it. That's it. But also, watch your mouth. Try to.
I know.
And on top of that,
Yes.
also leave when you need to leave. Right? Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who we got next? Breezy Bree.
Hey, Harry.
Breezy, what's up?
Yeah, this question I have.
Okay.
Like, how do you avoid like getting too attached, like in early dating, like when you first start getting to know somebody, like how do you avoid that attachment thing? Because I think a part of like when it comes to dating, it's really easy to feel attached, especially if it's like your first boyfriend or something like that. You're just like, oh my gosh, like he did blah blah blah, like he's this and that, and oh my
Right.
gosh, this person's in my life, my man.
Right.
But then like that can end real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how do you kind of like not have that like attachment?
So how fast do you think you're getting attached to people? Or are you just asking hypothetically?
Yes, asking in general.
Okay, so you haven't had this experience?
No, but
Okay.
I'm just asking so I don't have that experience.
Okay. All right. An important thing is going to be pacing. All right. So by pacing, I mean you pace how much of yourself you share with the other person. If you go out the gate and you just like let them see all of you, meaning like you're sharing your childhood, you're sharing very vulnerable things about yourself, right? You're just giving them a unrestrained view of your inner world. That's going to expedite the bonding process. So you
Isn't
just want
that?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I thought that's what the talking stage was for.
To a point. To a point. It's like you should let people earn deeper access to you over time. You know? I'll give you an example. Somebody is asking me about like my past relationship. I may give them like a general oversimplified explanation as to what occurred. Well, why did you and your ex end? Okay, we were incompatible, right? That's a first date thing. I'm not going to go into detail. But then as we progress, maybe I give more detail. I'll give them more color of the experience, right? You just progress. Like view yourself as an onion, right? And there's layers to the onion. You don't just immediately show them the core of the onion, right? That's something that I had to learn. When I first started dating, I was the type of person who would just, you ask me a question, I would just answer it, no matter what the question is. Because I assume everyone operated in good faith because I operate in good faith. You ever heard when people say like projecting, like you're projecting on the person? There's like negative projection, right? Like if somebody is cheating, they're thinking that you're cheating too. But there's also positive projection, meaning if you know you have good intentions, you assume everyone does. That's not the case, right? You're projecting positive qualities onto the person. So that's something that I had to learn when I first got single, was to like, oh, I should pace how much access I give of myself. And in doing so, you don't put yourself in a situation where you're overexposed and you attach too quickly to an individual.
But like, I just feel like when you're like dating or talking to the guy, both of you are supposed to be yapping. Like, so I guess he's just supposed to yap about his life.
You can yap about a whole bunch of things. You can keep things surface level. There's people who their entire dating experience is surface level, right? Like avoidantly attached people, they tend to not go very deep. You can keep things light, keep it surface. Talk about current events. Talk about things they like, what they don't like, right? Very surface. It's not a lot of like vulnerability, right?
Yes, that makes sense.
Right, so it's like you just progressively, so like over time, you expose more and more and more of yourself.
Okay, and that is a really great point that you say that, because when I mentioned that, meant it's really contradictory for how what men ask for in the beginning stages, but yet when it comes to conversation, because everything takes time and is a process,
right?
It's too much. But then, yet they want to have fun with you and adult fun.
Yeah, right.
If that makes sense.
But just because somebody's asking you for something doesn't mean you have to give it. Like if somebody asked me again, past relationship, vague answer, true answer, oversimplified answer. I don't have to. I may even tell you, maybe I'll tell you more about that at some point. Kind of conveying the idea like, I'm not talking more about this. We could talk more about this in the future, assuming we're still connected.
Okay. So, and then that doesn't drive a lot, that doesn't like lead. It sounds like when you do that, like a lot of guys tend to ghost.
Okay, they weren't a good fit then. If you not telling people every detail about your life, if something that small makes somebody not want to talk to you anymore, then they were never going to stick around in the first place.
Okay, true.
The right person will respect that.
Reasonable. Okay. Thank you. Fair enough.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all my questions today.
All right, Breezy Bree.
Until next time.
Until next time, love. You take care, all right?
Me too.
I like Breezy's voice. All right, who we got next? 19.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just coming out here. You kind of answered the question that I kind of had for the last girl, but I just wanted to say, because it's not exactly the same. So the question I basically have is how to proceed with the situation.
Okay.
So a few weeks ago, this guy came to my house and he was like checking the meter for the electric or whatever because the bill's too high. I was working, but my mom came by and she let him in. She told him that I was getting ready to get off work and I'll be done shortly. So he went to go read the meter, came back, finished up work, went out. I was irritated because work was stressful, but when I walked out there, he was a handsome guy, chocolate, nice looking, and we kind of like locked eyes or whatever. So, we talked, wrapped everything up, and then my mom's like, oh, Shay, he had a question about my job. So, I answered his question, and it was like awkward. But he left his number. The phone he had in his hand was an Android, but I put his number in my phone and it was an iPhone. So I'm like, I'm gonna reach out. But I didn't reach out right away. I waited like a week and then I texted him, and so we were talking, and he was basically like, I thought you were gorgeous. I thought there was a vibe, and basically he was glad that I reached out. He asked me what I was doing on a Thursday at 6, and I'm like, nothing. And then like the conversation proceeded a little bit longer, but like it kind of went quiet. Like I asked him when his birthday was, and he was just like, it's April 1st. And like, no, when's your birthday? And I just kind of left it there, and he left it there. So I just don't know if I should proceed or if I should just leave it alone, because it's just sitting there. It's been sitting there since yesterday.
Okay. So you're the last person who responded?
He's the last person to respond. He said April 1st. I don't do stuff like this. So I just went off on a limb, like, flipped a coin, heads, reach out, tails, don't reach out. Landed on heads, and I reached out.
Okay. And the last time you spoke to him was yesterday, but he did ask you what you were doing Thursday?
Right.
Which is tomorrow, right? It's tomorrow Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you two?
We didn't get that far.
You didn't get that far. Okay.
I'm 36. He kind of like looked like he was older, like my age. So I don't think he was young at all, but yeah, I don't know. I'm coming on here because I keep seeing people on here. So I'm like, maybe I can get some advice besides my friends, because they don't know anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to really just be a matter of preference, what you feel comfortable with, right? Did you get his number initially?
Well, he wrote it on the paper, like if I had questions. Oh, he said he was a DJ. He's like, well, your birthday's already passed, because he asked me when my birthday was. He was like, but I wish I had a card. Then he wrote his number down on the paper. The phone in his hand, I'm guessing, was his work phone, which was an Android. And then when I put his number in my phone, it was an iPhone. So I'm like, oh, he left his real number. I don't know.
Okay. And he's a DJ.
Yeah.
Does he seem
Plus,
like...
I guess maybe he's an electrician. He was like from the light company. I don't know.
Okay. All right. An electrician and also a DJ. Interesting combo. Do you seem like he's like a popular DJ?
I don't know. He was, I don't know. I never heard of him from around here or anything, so I'm not sure.
DJ's not great. I gotta be honest with you. DJ's not the ideal occupation for someone you want a serious commitment from. But I can tell you, like, if you were to test him, he's probably waiting for you to respond to his test.
Why didn't he just say? He just said it's April 1st, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay, why wouldn't he just say? Or maybe he didn't remember my birthday, because he seemed to have remembered me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But why wouldn't you just? I don't know. Maybe
you basically are saying, why are you not making it easy to keep the conversation going?
Right.
Some people just like that. Unfortunately, they don't know that they're not doing that. You know what I mean? So from his perspective, he might be like sitting here like, why is she not? I guess she's not interested because I told her my birthday, and she didn't say anything else. So maybe she's not interested. It's just one of those things. Like, more than likely, if you text him again, then he will respond. And then possibly talk about Thursday. But that's if you want to do it. That's if you want to carry the conversation. If you don't want to carry the conversation, then you're more than welcome to like leave this alone. I
just wanted to see what somebody else said, because I I don't know. I don't do stuff like that, and I just went out on a limb, and maybe I'm overthinking. I probably am. So
A little bit.
we'll see.
A little bit. It's really just a matter of what you want to do, right? It's like if you want to, you're very curious and you want to see where it goes. I mean, feel free to message them. Not really gonna lose. You're not losing anything, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, do you want to be the person carrying the conversation? Same time.
No. All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Absolutely, love. Best of luck to you. All right.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye. Dry doesn't necessarily mean uninterested. It can mean uninterested, but you will be surprised how many people do not really have social skills. They just do not know how to engage people. Ashley, what's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Chilling, chilling. What's happening with you?
Just a quick one today. Just trying to find the best way to articulate my experience. But as you kind of go through your journey and you find yourself beginning to fall more into secure attachment, and it's something that like you've kind of become aware of, and you kind of start noticing your experiences begin to shift and change, and you kind of notice that things don't necessarily affect you or bother you the same way, or you don't react to things the same way that you used to in the past before you had the knowledge and the things that you have now. Like when you kind of notice that, how do you kind of like draw that distinction or line between like being jaded and really just like realizing that you react differently now because you're more secure?
What evidence do you have that you are jaded?
That's a good question. I don't think
Now be specific.
I have a lot.
Be specific for the rest of this conversation. As specific as possible. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when things do, I guess I'm talking particularly about when things don't necessarily work out with maybe someone that you were dealing with or that you liked or that you were talking to. And I think in the past where I would have leaned into an anxious attachment standpoint, I find now, that I handle situations better, for one.
Mm-hmm.
For two, I just find that, maybe I'm not as disappointed as I used to be, or it doesn't trigger me in the same way, or I'm able to move on graciously in a better manner and also like keep myself open to new experiences after that.
Okay.
That's the experience that I feel like I'm finding, but then I get worried sometimes where it's like, okay, am I just going to kind of keep hopping from thing to thing and maybe, just not care all the time when things happen?
Okay. I don't think you're jaded because a part of being jaded, I believe, is like you are anticipating bad things to happen. That doesn't sound like what you're describing. You're describing like when things are ending, you let them go. You don't cling to them anymore.
Yeah, maybe that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which is
that
a newer
makes sense.
experience. So yeah, it sounds like you're in a better spot.
Okay. No, for sure. Okay, that actually, I like the way you put that. You're saying like you letting go and not clinging them to anymore. Because in the past, it would have been an issue of clinging to things very strongly. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. No, that's fine. That's cool. I don't. But last thing, I don't like what you said about DJs, man. I'm a DJ and I like love too. I don't think it's all that bad.
You might be an outlier, man. It's like I make it equivalent to guys who are on dating apps. Not all guys who are on dating apps, but like really attractive guys on dating apps. You can be a good, solid dude who's attractive, but put you on a dating app, it's gonna bring out the worst qualities, right?
No, that makes that.
Yeah. So like a DJ, the environment he's in, right? The status he has in the venue, the amount of women coming at him, like it is. It don't create for the best situation.
Yeah, it's true. And I've had to learn how to balance that too, because you kind of get, when you start getting into these different worlds, different experiences, you kind of start getting tempted into behaving in certain ways.
Right.
It kind of, that might be moved from your principles, but it's just been kind of a journey for me, I'd say, over the last couple of years. But Appreciate the help, though.
Absolutely, brother. You take care, man.
All right. Yep.
All right, Christina.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm good. I just wanted to ask you if I handled this situation correctly or what you would have possibly done differently. But I've been dating this guy on and off for about 8 years. I mean, I started talking to him when I was 20, and now I'm 28. And we used to be really close and everything. But this past New Year's, leading up to New Year's, we were supposed to go to church together. He ended up having something come up with a family member that got sick, so he wasn't able to come. And the next day, he was like, "Oh, my family," which I've met them all hundreds of times, but he was like, "Oh, we're supposed to meet," and I was like, "Cool, we can meet, we can link," and apparently that same family member ended up getting rushed to the hospital, and he said that he left his phone at home, which is fine. But after that, I was like, "So your mom wasn't there, your sister wasn't there?" Mind you, I had texted his mom earlier to wish her a happy new year, and he had cousins and stuff. He knows my phone number by heart. He knows my social media. So I just felt like that lack of consideration, it just really pissed me off. And I feel like that was something that I've been dealing with him, that lack of consideration and not showing up or not hearing from him until hours later. Like, I heard from him on New Year's Day at around 11 o'clock in the morning, but he didn't get back home to text me until like 8:30. So the whole day went by. And so I let him know that I think I'm going to take some time away because this is just something I'm not willing to accept in this year. He ended up texting me the next day, and he was like, "Oh, I really want to see you." And he lives back in our hometown, but I told him I left and went back home to Atlanta. So he was ticked off about that. I ended up seeing him at another spot out here in Atlanta because he was out this way. We were talking and everything. It was fine. But now I came to the realization that that's something that I can't get past right now. So I wanted to talk to him more about it. And I asked him, kind of to share his feelings. And he wanted to talk to me, I guess, about it. But I ended up talking to him more about it. I mean, he just kind of he didn't say much. And I was just like, well, until you can give me what I need out of this situation, which is an explanation, I don't feel the need to continue these type of conversations because, I'm encouraging him. I'm doing all of these things. Like, I need this. I need to understand why you are the way that you are. Why don't you consider me? And he was basically like, "Oh, well, I understand." And so I told him, I was like, "I'm no longer talking to you." Well, he ended up texting me last Thursday and was like, "Oh, I miss you. I love you." All of these things. And then he sent me a picture of something that meant a lot to me that he saw. And I have not texted him back. Tomorrow will make 2 weeks since I have talked to him. And I'm trying to figure out, did I handle that situation correctly? Should I give him another chance? Kind of what that looks like.
Okay. So you said he has a pattern of not considering you.
Mm-hmm.
And this pattern has been on display for the 8 years you've been dealing with him?
Yes.
You think
in different type of capacities. So, yeah.
you think the 9th year is gonna be the magic number,
Mm-mm.
right? Probably not,
Mm-mm.
right? It's
Mhm.
probably not. You gotta trust when people. What's that I say? When people show you who they are, believe them. Like, this is a person who's not going to consider you love. He's never going to consider you. So either you make peace with that and continue doing what y'all are doing, or you decide that that's not going to work for you and you move on.
Okay.
Okay. The
Okay.
asking him why he's not doing it does not change the situation. If he gave you the perfect explanation, that's not going to give you any peace, because you're still going to be fixated on the experience of him not considering you. Why is not going to make you feel any better. Right? The only thing that will make you feel better is him starting to consider you. But considering that he has not considered you for 8 years straight would tell me that he has no plan on doing so.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Trish.
Hi, good night.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
So it's funny because my situation is kind of similar to Christina's.
Uh-oh.
I've been in like a I know, I was just listening to her and I was kind of taking in your advice with her too.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, well, a little bit of backstory, let me make it quick. I've been in like an on and off relationship with someone for like since I was 19. I'm 27 now, so I've seen like different sides of this guy. My main issue is like his anger or his lack of like the lack of him being able to control his emotions. Long story short, we got into a huge argument literally like last night, and the situation took a big turn. But my question is, why is it that when a guy asks for the truth and he finally receives the truth, it's not what he wants to hear?
That's your
Like,
question.
what is it that triggers that part of a guy's brain to then like flip to a whole nother person?
Or is your question, why does he not like the truth, considering that he asked for it?
Yes.
Okay. What was the truth in this situation?
In this situation, he asked about some guy that I was messing with at the time, where we had like an on and off thing going. It was off, and I told him that nothing happened with the guy. It was good conversation. You know, he would bring me lunch, maybe pay for my gas, but then I also told him that the guy went down on me once, and then that's not something that he wanted to hear. But his truth from that part where we weren't dealing with each other also was that he had a whole threesome. So how is my situation worse than yours?
Yeah, I'm with you. So to answer your question, the first question you asked, I mean, this is a people thing. It's not like a man or woman thing. People in general, it's not that the truth is what bothers them. It's just, it's not the truth they wanted to hear. Like, people come on this live and ask me for advice, but the advice, they want me to tell them what they already want to do. So when I tell them, so if I did that, they will be happy with it, right? But when I tell them the opposite of what they want to hear, sometimes they're not happy about it, right? That's essentially the situation that you're in. He would rather you have said you didn't do anything with Buddy, but you told him you did. So I mean, he wasn't gonna be like, oh, okay, great, fantastic, I'm glad he went down on you, right? Like, of course he's gonna have a negative reaction to it. To your second question of why he's reacting like this towards you when he's also done similar things, that's just typical double standard stuff, right? It's double standard. I feel like some men feel like them being sexually adventurous, it's not that big a deal. But if a woman does it, or specifically a woman who they've laid claims to has done it, it's a worse thing. And that is true to an extent. They're both bad, but the experience of it is different between men and women. Like if you have, I think there's, and this isn't a accurate science, but it's like generally speaking, women tend to really hate like emotional cheating more than men do, right? Men hate physical cheating typically more than women do in terms of how much it impacts the person. Doesn't make it right. There's differences. So yeah, it's very hypocritical for him to do that and then get mad at you 100%. But yeah, he also is having a normal reaction to it.
I wouldn't say his reaction was so normal, but
What did he do? What was his reaction? Because you did imply that he had a big reaction to it.
oh, huge reaction. I hate telling my business, especially in front of 400 people, but essentially I don't even know how to even say this because it's kind of embarrassing, but it got physical. It got physical to a point to where I just feel like it's something that we can't come back from.
Yeah, you got to leave at that point.
Like if I was to say it, you would be like, yeah, no, that's degrading.
Yeah, you got to leave. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you 100% got to leave, especially if he's already done the same thing. You got to go.
So then the hardest part about this is, I mean, I know we have years in, but like, why does it still feel like a pull thing? Like I'm drawn to even get an explanation of why did you treat me this way? Like what about this made you feel comfortable enough to even take it that far to treat somebody that you claim that you love this way? Why do I want to know that still?
I think that's normal, right? You're looking for coherence. So if this is his first act of being physical towards you, I think it's normal for you to want to make sense of it. Is this his first time doing it? It's not.
To this extent, no. Yeah, no, but to this extent. It's not the first time, but to this extent.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's normal to want to know the reason behind it, but you can both want to know the reason behind it and also leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a process. Thank you.
What's going to be a process?
The leaving him alone part. It's going to be a process.
Got
I
it.
see a lot of people saying soul ties, and I definitely agree with you guys, but
You got a cold turkey this, love. Unfortunately. This is it's not a process situation. Even you saying process tells me that you're probably not going to leave. Because you're trying to ease out of it. And even the desire to ease out of it means that you're open to being reconnected. All he has to do is say the right thing to you and you'll be back in the situation.
no.
Like, this is typical, right? A lot of women who are in situations where they're in domestically abusive situations tend to stay for quite some time. You have to decide if you're going to be one of those statistics. Are you going to choose to be a statistic, or are you going to choose to just leave the situation? The choice is yours.
I made my choice.
All right, love. Well, best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
CC in the building.
Oh man, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My phone disconnected.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you streaming?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, welcome in everybody. If it's your first time here, thank you guys for joining the live. We're done with the first hour. So we are not even at our 60K tap. So if we can take a moment, stop whatever you're doing, and just strongly tap so hard, 30 seconds solid. If half the people just did that, the numbers will jump up so fast. We want to reach 115K this next hour. So just tap, 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 you guys. Please just take a moment right now. Tap that screen. Don't forget to grab your daily heartbeat. That's up at the top. Also, you want to share the live out to people that you follow, or you can repost it to your story. So as anybody is scrolling, they will come across this live. Okay, we appreciate your taps. We appreciate your support. The tapping helps because it pushes this. Look at or listen to, they're going to come across this live and want to join in. They're going to see this amazing advice that's happening right now, and then they may want to join the panel. So we have another hour left. So keep coming. Don't forget, if you have a private account, only Coach can let you up. So you might have to wait a little bit longer, but if you want to make it public, Ahmad will let you up a lot faster. And then he is streaming right now. So you can go to his link in his bio, and it's going to take you to the YouTube page where you can subscribe. So if you missed the first half of this episode, this live, you can go to the episode once it's posted, and you can watch it from there. So isn't that amazing? So you guys can also find this on his YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you can see whenever he posts on that as well. So thank you guys for the support. Yes, please keep power tapping. Keep power tapping. Don't forget, when you come up in the panel, you want to mute yourself right away. Make sure you take out your background noise, and you're waiting there to be called on. Once Coach calls your name, he's only going to give you so many times before we drop you. So be prepared once you press that request button and you're in the panel. Don't forget, you can also tap while you are in the panel waiting your turn. No cameras up, so don't camera down either. Wait till it's your turn. You can turn your camera on. Okay, we appreciate you guys' support. You have a structure in here. Please follow accordingly, and you're gonna have a great time. Thank you guys so much for the support. Let's keep. Oh, here we go, Chad. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys for tapping so much. Let's get those numbers up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you, CC. All right, who we got next? Heather.
Yes, hi. Hello.
Hi. How you doing?
Hi, good evening. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm great. What can I do for you?
Yeah, so I do have a specific question. I've been dealing with this guy, and I wouldn't say I'm confused, but I really want to know, how can you tell the difference between an avoidant man or just a man who's uninterested or just being shitty, a shitty person? How can you tell the difference? I need to know the clues.
Okay. How long have y'all been dating?
So I wouldn't say dating. We have been intimate already. It was like kind of sudden, high chemistry, like really crazy chemistry. Met organically, but it's been since August. I want to say that I've been talking to him.
Okay. So you've been talking to him since August, but you're not dating, so you're not going on dates with him?
Correct.
How did y'all meet?
At a bar.
Okay. Was it a one-night stand situation?
What was that?
Was it a one-night stand situation?
No, it wasn't a one-night stand.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So since August, what makes you think that he's avoidant?
You're asking me what makes me think he's avoidant?
Mm-hmm.
Certain things he doesn't like to talk about. He goes silent sometimes, just like, so after, like, I want to say it was like the second or third time that we were intimate, and it was really intense. He kind of like pulled away. And so, I don't know. I was like, well, is this an avoidant man or something? Like, was it too much feels? Was it too much, for him to handle? I'm just trying to figure out.
Okay. That's one of the most misleading things about like attachment styles, is people trying to give you all the inclination that you can just read somebody's attachment style. The attachment style does not come online until you become significant to the person.
Okay.
You're not significant to the person, the attachment system doesn't even activate. So even someone who is avoidant doesn't even play into those avoidant tendencies because they don't care about you that much, right? Like when you start getting closer to the person and you start being a threat to them, meaning there's a cost to losing you, that's when an anxious person acts anxious, that's when an avoidant person acts avoidant, that's when the fearful avoidant person acts fearful avoidant. Right. So you just simply won't know that. Based on the dynamic that you've been describing thus far, it does not seem like you occupy any place of significance to this man in his life.
Okay.
So he might be avoidant, but there's no way of telling right now.
Right. Okay. So should I just fall back and not talk to him? Should I just like leave him be?
What is your goal in this situation?
Well, before it was to get to know him.
To get to know him for what?
To get to know him better.
Yeah, but for what? Did you want to be friends with him? Did you want a relationship? What was the purpose of getting to know him?
Maybe for something. I don't know, like to have some sort of substance.
You're sounding avoidant.
That would be my goal.
What's that? You're actually sounding like the avoidant one right now. So, so you didn't intend to have any kind of relationship or think of a possibility of a relationship?
Yes. I saw the potential.
Okay.
I genuinely like the guy. I saw the potential. We have a lot in common.
Gotcha.
But the way he's been is just kind of like thrown me off and turned me off, and it definitely activated some anxious attachment in me,
Gotcha. Yeah. The way that you've gone about this though does not map to a relationship because you haven't really asked of anything. Like y'all aren't dating, but y'all are sleeping together a lot. There's no incentive for him to progress this into a relationship.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be getting anything extra if he did so.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
Okay, so if I wanted to go about it that way, what do I let him know? Sorry, no access to me until you show up in the way that I would like.
Oh, it's too late now.
Okay.
It's too late now.
Right.
He's already slept with you multiple times. There's nothing novel about it anymore. So,
okay.
Yeah, I would say this situation probably isn't going to work. But it's stuff that you have to unpack as well because you're describing someone who's emotionally unavailable, but yet you're orienting yourself around trying to make it work with them for some reason. Why do you want to make it work with a person who's emotionally unavailable? The specific type of person who cannot give you what you would probably want in a relationship, why do you want to make it work with them?
Right, absolutely. No, you're correct.
Yeah, so just got some things to unpack, love, but you'll be all right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, hon. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem, love. You take care. All right. Taj, what's going on?
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm great. So I just have like a general question. Why do you think people why do you think men go like hot and cold, and then like when you're forward with them, when you decide you don't tolerate the hot and cold, you let them know in order for them to stop or end it. They're very apologetic, just to do the same thing again, the hot and cold. What is that about?
Describe your experience. In what way is the man in question being hot and cold to you?
Well, like how it will be them just being normal, open, vulnerable, all of what we're looking for in a relationship, and then all of a sudden it goes cold, like distant, not willing to share, and that cycle just continues. And then when I'd say something like, I'm over it, I'm done, I don't want to deal with it no more. Very apologetic, I'm going to do better, just to do the same thing again.
Okay. I wouldn't worry about it, right? Obviously, the person who's doing, like, there's a multitude of different reasons, right? It could be an attachment style thing, it could be a manipulation tactic, right? But ultimately, the person who's being hot and cold with you is a person you can't be with, right? They're apologizing.
So when you say attachment, what do you mean by that? Attachment style.
Attachment style meaning they could be some degree of fearful avoidance, right? Attachment styles are ways that we behave when people get close to us in a romantic context. So someone who's fearful avoidant both wants connection but also fears connection when they get it. But again, ultimately, you can't work with a person like that, right?
Right. So that's why when you're done with very apologetic and very lucky, they really hard again, invest, just to eventually go cold again. What is that? And I don't think it's manipulation. I know what you mean, right? You could tell if somebody is I don't think it's manipulation because this person is not malicious, and I don't see any malicious behavior other than if that might sound, the cold might sound malicious, but other than that, I don't see it, so I don't think it's that. But I think it might be avoiding attachment.
Okay. But what I want you to understand. Go ahead, ask your question. How do you what?
So I think that avoiding attachment, I think that rings more true. So with that, how do you deal with a person like that? Or how do you get them to not be afraid?
You can't. Y'all have to love yourselves more. This gets incredibly frustrating on these lives. Because y'all come here, y'all ask questions. The answer to a lot of these questions is leave the person alone. But y'all don't want to hear that. You want to hear, how do I make them want me? You can't. Can't do it. It's that simple, right? It's better for you to find somebody who's not going to be hot and cold with you. You have two options here. You can either deal with a hot and cold person or find someone who's not going to be hot and cold. But for some reason, y'all want to make it work with a hot and cold person. It's not going to work. It's just not going to. So you're better off choosing someone who is not going to be hot and cold with you.
Yeah, but they don't.
They don't what?
It's not that. It's not that it's not that we don't want to or I don't want to. It's like I said, when I say, I'm done, the person goes above and beyond to assure that,
right. And then you know that when you've experienced this cycle enough times that when they go above and beyond, they're going to go right back to being cold, right? Like that. So if you know that, why does that still work on you?
Right. So someone who's attachment, someone who's scared of attachment and avoids, you can't help that person? Is that?
No.
Maybe it's because we want to help.
What?
So we can't help that person? I think we stick around because we want to help a person like that.
No, you don't want to help them. You just want them. This is not an altruistic motivation here. It's a very selfish motivation. You just want the person. Right? So you got to call it what it is. And I mean, you're free to keep dealing with the person who's hot and cold. Just don't be confused as to why they're still being hot and cold, because they're not going to change it. All right?
So do men do that on purpose?
No. Sometimes, like I told you originally, sometimes it can be actual manipulation. Sometimes it's just an attachment style thing. But you're still asking questions to get clarity in the situation because you still wanted to work with this individual. So you're still not hearing me. I know you're going to stay dealing with this person. Like, I already get the vibe, right? So we can call a spade a spade. You're going to keep dealing with this person. So I wish you the best with it. All right? But I got to move on. You take care.
Okay.
All right. Who we got next? Girl Say, are you there? Because you're muted. Do y'all see why I don't coach women? This is exactly why I don't coach women. This is 100% why I only coach men. I don't have the patience for that shit all day. Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
How you doing?
I'm good. So, I didn't mean to come up. I was just listening. I don't even know how I got up there, but
Okay.
I think what I have to say is very similar to some of the conversation I was listening to. For myself, I was in a 28 years relationship that ended.
Okay.
And it took me about a year or two. I think we literally emotionally parted like 2 years before I actually physically leave, which was a year after. And to the date of 9 months after I physically leave, then I met somebody else. And it was very hard for me because there was a transition in terms of we had children, they were grown. Then I just could not figure out how I was going to transition from being in a long-term relationship to be by myself, not just because I didn't want to be alone, but it was almost like I made a life, like I create that life, being with a person, and then here I am again. I honestly didn't know what to do with myself. So for a period of like 9 months, I was just trying to reflect on what I'm supposed to do next. And then one day I met someone, and it took me out of character. It made me get involved in ways that I never thought that I would get involved with another person emotionally again. And I'm at the spot now where I feel like I don't know if I am emotionally sabotaging it, or I'm looking for things that could go wrong, or because it's 6 months since we have been seeing each other, and I kind of want to blame things and little things that he's not doing that require conversation between us, and I am getting upset about it without having the conversation. And even when I do have the conversation and he said it's not so, I'm still not too, I don't know, I felt like I'm stuck, and I don't know if I've become so untrusting based on my past relationship or how it's going to impact this one. And, a lot of the conversation you had this evening, I found myself did a lot of that. Like, for example, I was very open. I talk about, because it's like I felt like I need to get it out so you know who you're getting involved with. I don't want any secret. That was how I look at it. I didn't felt that he had never really let me feel as if I said something, or he never actually made me feel like he was referring to anything that I have told him during the time that we are together now. And I don't know, I feel very confused whether or not I'm using little things. I mean, as adults, we make choices. Kids do what they're told, but I don't know. I felt like whatever choice he made, if it does not favor me or whatever, I felt like I am beginning to start becoming a critic. And so let's put it, simplify it, I feel like I'm seeing dead people.
Okay. What's your question?
My question is that possible? I mean, I know it's possible, where you could take past event from experience from a past relationship and implement it in your new relationship that can destroy it. Or is it that it is just too much similarities, or I don't even know the real question that I'm asking, because that's where I'm at right now. I am confused because I am trying to deal with this diligently. I have tried my best for the last 6 months not to make anything, come over in here. And when I talk about that, it wasn't. It was most like emotional things that happened in my past relationship after 28 years of it. I wouldn't say the whole 28 years, but there were times when it was extremely good. And then there are times when it just was no good. And eventually we had to part or go our separate ways. But this, I don't know if I'm afraid that this is too good to be true. I don't know. I don't know if it's too good to be true. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Okay. You were married for 28
Yeah.
years. You were married for 28
28.
years. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did your marriage end?
Because at the time,
And by the way, with these answers, one sentence. You have a one sentence cap.
Yes.
Eight word cap for the
Because-
answers, okay? Okay.
because I loved him, and he was a good provider. So those two things.
I said, why did your marriage end?
Oh, a lot of cheating on his part.
Okay. He was cheating. Okay. And how long were you divorced or separated before you met this new guy?
Basically 3 years.
Okay.
2
3
years after I emotionally separated, we still coexist because there were things that we had to handle. And then a year after, we physically.
What do you mean coexist? You still lived with him?
No, we weren't living with him, but there were like properties and stuff. I was still residing there, so we still had communication.
Okay.
Then a year after I left, that's when I met this new person. Yeah,
Okay. And how long have you been dating this new person?
6 months actually.
Okay. So when did you start finding problems with this new person?
I think periodically, little things I would get. I wouldn't say that I don't speak out. I don't talk about it outward. So, but I would feel vexed about certain things because I'm like, oh, this feel kind of familiar, stuff like that.
Yeah, but like
And
when? You said you've been dating him for 6 months. So when did you start? Like month 2, month 3, month 4?
Yeah, in late November.
And that would be month what?
That would have been let's see, September, 3 months.
3 months in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what kind of problems did you start to see 3 months in?
I felt like he was being inconsistent, and I felt like it was afterward. I felt like it was a conversation we could have just talked about, like, I don't like that, or can you do it differently? But instead, I had got upset about it, and I remember my mind going back to the inconsistent before, and I felt like, and when I brought it up, he was like, okay, all right, I'll do it differently this next time. He didn't even try to have an argument about it. But not that I was trying to have an argument. I was trying to talk about it, and I found out how easy it was to talk to him. So then it happened again about maybe 2 or 3 times after that, and then it started to make me start questioning whether or not I was ready to actually start dating again.
Okay.
Then I
So
started thinking.
so we're starting to get long-winded again, all right? So eight words, one sentence. So
Yeah, you gotta stop me because I get like
you're
that.
gonna keep doing it? All right, I'll stop you. So okay. So you said he was inconsistent. What does inconsistent look like specifically?
It was where so he started. I think we had a date, more than once. It was about 2 times, and twice he was late, and once he said he had to cancel. And
Okay. When we say late, how late?
he was late for like over an hour.
Okay. Did he let you know he was
Twice.
going? Did he let you know he was going to be late?
It was at the last moment.
Okay.
And then this next time, it was he had to cancel. So I just felt like
What
I
was his
wanted to
excuse?
understand.
What was his excuse for being late?
Well, the 2 times he was late, once he said he was home waiting for someone to come and pick something up, and his way to see me, they called that they were almost there, so he had to go back to do it. The next time he went to go visit a family member, and coming back he hit traffic, and the next time he had to cancel because something came up,
Okay,
and he said he
I
had
got
to
you.
deal with it.
I got you. More than likely, yeah, you are looking for problems.
Yeah, I kind of feel that too.
Yeah, because you are afraid of intimacy based on your past marriage being somewhat traumatic, right? Like you said, there was cheating going on in your previous marriage. Traumatic
A
situation.
lot of it.
Cheating
Mm-hmm.
is something you don't really shake off like that, man or woman, right?
No.
It really sticks with you. So you are associating pain with being in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So since you associate pain with being in a relationship, you're like, well, if I open myself up to this person, pain is coming. So in an attempt to avoid that pain, you're finding a justification to leave.
It's true. I also our connection was very intense in terms of our attraction to each other. It also makes me very uncomfortable because I felt like I did not want to feel like that again. I mean, I thought that, okay, I've been through all of that. How I want to feel now is that as an adult, I want to meet someone. I want to, I want to have meaningful relationship, but I did not want to deal with the whole intense emotional connection kind of thing. And for a while, I struggled with that too. I was like, I try to back off it, but I'm like, I made a commitment. I said this is what I wanted, so I'm going to, and I think that I regulate myself, and I believe that I had a handle on that, not by removing the emotions from it, but I guess as time goes on, it doesn't wear down, but it settled itself. That's what I felt like it is now. But and I just wanted to know, I guess, how to handle that. How do I veer away from that when I felt like my mind is going there?
You just remind yourself of the truth, right? Now that you have clarity that you are attempting to protect yourself, you don't have to run that unconscious script, right? So you lean into the connection instead of looking for an excuse to lean out. And then over
Right.
time of doing the opposite of what you naturally want to do, you'll show your nervous system that this is actually a safe connection. And you'll feel less of a need to leave.
Yeah, I also need to say one more thing. It took, so it was 2 years, like, where I was not involved in my past relationship. And then after the 2 years, I left in the third year, and I thought about it. I thought about whether or not I should be in a relationship or should I be taken. But I'm wondering how does one heal actually? Do you have to seclude yourself or hibernate like a bear? Or can you still interact with someone and take it easy and take it slow, and then you continue to grow from there? Because I don't really, I believe that for the 3 years that in the last 3 years of my relationship, that I could say that was part of my healing process.
Sure. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, you spend time
Yeah.
with yourself. You reflect on the previous situation. You see what you could have learned from it, right? And
Right.
I would also argue that you put yourself in a place where you're truly okay with
Yes.
yourself, right?
Yes.
Being by yourself. That's like the healthiest place you can enter a relationship from. Is like you don't really need a relationship. You don't need another person, but
Right.
you can be with one, right?
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's it. So yeah, that's how I would approach it. There's no real time limit on it. Some people can be crystallized in that state for decades, and then other people
That's
after a
true.
year it can kind of pass through them and they're ready to go. It depends on the particular temperament and the willingness the other person has to face whatever they need to face.
And I also applied all things to grief, the stages,
Okay.
and I believe that I had gone through that stage of grief, and I believe that I have come out on the other end, and I want to continue to evolve and pivot to the next level. And I think that, but however, these are little things that, and I think I just wanted to know if I'm going on the right road here, and yeah, like I said, I think I am looking for, or I'm seeing too many dead people actually. I'm
Okay.
still seeing a little bit of that.
Sounds good, love. Well, best luck to you, all right?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I have been out yapped. I didn't think it was possible to out yap me, but apparently some yappers in the chat. What's going on? Who we got next?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. How are you, man?
Not too bad, bro. Also, thank you for doing this. Doing God's work, giving people some good advice.
Appreciate you,
Shout
bro.
out to you, sir.
Appreciate it. What can I do for you, man?
All right. So, I started talking to this girl, right? And we had a pretty nice connection. And it was going pretty smoothly, but then I started noticing that she's a little avoidant. And I know we were talking about this. I know you've been talking about this. And, I'm okay with facing the cold, hard truth that I should probably leave her. Because, you can't really fix avoidant people.
Right.
So I kind of made that conclusion. I made up my mind that I should leave her and stuff. But before I do that, I do want to give her a little bit of a chance because she hasn't actually done anything crazy like avoid talking to me or doing a bunch of other crazy stuff that, avoidance tend to do. But what she was doing was that just recently there's been a couple issues and we've been dating for about 3 months now. And there's a slight issue where we had a miscommunication where I thought that she was going somewhere and she told me that she was going to go to this certain place. And, I misheard her and, I was a little upset, but then she corrected me and, told me hey, you misheard it. I was actually going to this location. Sorry you got mad, but it's not really my fault. And then from there, she shut down for a day. And then I was like, huh. I was like, well, okay. I mean, we could talk about this some more. It doesn't have to be this huge fight. But she immediately shut down. And I was like, okay. I was trying to figure out why she was shutting down. So I was trying to talk to her. And then she was giving me the cold shoulder. And then I gave her a day, just to cool down. And then, this is after the whole day. This is probably last week. And it's been a little off since then. I haven't seen her as much because we're both working. I'm planning on seeing her for Valentine's Day, which is going to be kind of nice. But, I'm starting to see these little red flags that whenever she's in a conflict, she shuts down. And pretty much, I didn't see any of these red flags before I started dating her, and I thought I vetted her pretty well. Because I got burned by my last relationship, so I was trying to make sure I picked a good one this time. And my senses tell me that, yeah, she's good, and she's a nice girl, but that she's an avoidant type, and I kind of wanted to hear your voice or your opinion on how to tell when a girl's avoidant. We can always tell when a guy's avoidant, but when a girl's avoidant, it's kind of, I've never seen that, honestly.
Gotcha. It's the same thing. They engage in the same behaviors. It's not really different with the genders.
Oh, okay. So the same thing is just hot and cold.
Mm-hmm. But you also don't want to, you're not going to be able to tell with certainty you can only tell when someone's attachment style once you become significant to them. Like I told the previous caller, right? You can't just go on like a date and be like, okay, is this person avoidant or anxious? It's like you can with like if you have like really good pattern recognition, right? You kind of get a taste of their past. You can kind of like make a good inference. But generally speaking, average person, you're not going to be able to tell until you get close to the person.
Okay, and 3 months is enough time?
Yeah, 3 months is enough time to become significant to somebody for sure.
Oh, okay.
To where there's enough intimacy that's been established. So like you're seeing that now, right? When conflict comes up, she shuts down.
Yeah.
So does that mean you can't be with her? Not necessarily, because with attachment styles, there's also a degree of capacity, right? You can have an avoidantly attached person who has a high capacity, which means like they don't get activated as easily as other avoidants. Then you have other avoidants who have very low capacity, meaning it's very easy to activate them, right? So it's not like a blanket thing like, oh, this person's avoidant, you can't be with them. You gotta really think about that. That's half the population we're talking about, just about, right? So we're saying half the population is unfit to be in a relationship. No, there's avoidants who are in relationships right now. There's avoidants who are in marriages. You have to deal with them in a particular way, right? So like if you were going to deal with this woman, you have to know, okay, conflict is something she's not very comfortable with. Therefore, how do we navigate that? Well, I can say, okay, I want to talk about X, no pressure. Whenever you're ready, we can talk about it, right? You tell an avoidant something like that, they don't activate as much. They don't feel like they have to talk to you right now. You're going to pressure them. You're giving them the agency and the autonomy to come to you when they're ready, right? That's kind of how you have to engage somebody like that. Now, if you don't want to do things like that, fair enough. That's not going to be a good fit for you.
Yeah, I've already been in a relationship with a situationship because we never actually fully dated. But this other girl was kind of like that, and it's very confusing and it sucks. I'd rather not deal with the headache, honestly.
I get you.
And it's a shame too because she's a nice girl and stuff, but I'm a little older than her, so I'm 27 and she's 23. And I'm starting to get up to those numbers, and I'm kind of like, I kind of don't want to waste my time. So, but I just wanted to hear your input on. I'm gonna stay with her for a little bit longer and just kind of feel things out and see exactly why she's shutting down, and then figure out. I'm not gonna just break up with her just because of one fight. But if it becomes a pattern, then yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes, and I thank you, sir, for doing God's work again.
No problem, man.
Thank you.
Keep me posted on how it goes, right?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Take care.
Take care. All right, we got next Jazzy Rich.
That's me.
How you
Hello. So I would love to hear your opinion, a man's opinion, on like taking it slow in dating, like what that means from a man. I'm not really a casual dater. Like I'm dating for marriage. So when it comes down to taking it slow, what is that supposed to look like? I haven't been in like long-term relationships. Once I see that it's not moving intentionally, I'm not gonna stay for much longer and like invest my time.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 34. I just turned 34. Come on, birthday girl.
Okay, nice. Happy belated. And
thank you.
You said you haven't been in relationships, or you have?
I haven't been in a long-term relationship.
Okay. What's the longest relationship you've been in?
Probably like 4 months.
Why do you think that is?
Because I like to move intentionally with everything I do in life. Like I really take my time seriously, and being in a relationship is a real investment because I pour myself into it, and if I'm not being met with the same reciprocity, or if the man isn't moving intentionally in the direction of really building like a life or just building partnership, then I don't see the purpose in me staying. And I do communicate how I am from the jump. So it's not something that's like a secret.
So when you say the man is not moving with intention, in that 4-month relationship, what about that made you want to leave specifically?
Oh my gosh, that relationship was a while ago. However, when I've had even situationships, it still hits around that same timeline. And I will recognize it at the point where after I've communicated my needs enough, if there's no adjustment in behavior or no change, then I don't see the need to continue to either repeat myself or
Okay, but I need you
basically.
to be very specific. So no catch-all terms. So if we use words like needs, what needs specifically? Okay.
It can be consideration, right? If you're calling me and we're talking, well, really you're talking about whatever you want to talk about without ever asking me how my day went, any regard for me. You know, I've been in long distance relationships. If I'm coming to see you with my time and you're not making an effort to come and see me, it can be just the intentionality behind actually the courtship and the pursuit of me. If there's a lack of effort and prioritization, things like that.
Okay, let's get more specific. The last 2 situations you were in, why did they end specifically?
The most recent one specifically is I realized that the person I was dealing with liked to use me for his own benefit, as in like picking my brain for things or, you know, wanting to talk about his different ideas and bounce things off of me, but never caring about what I actually have going on or attempting to pour into me. That's one guy. And then the one before that didn't work because once he found out about, basically he saw in my messages one of my business partners express his appreciation for me, and he felt a way about that. He never, you know, talked to me about my work. Mind you, just in business development as well as like production. So most of the people that I work with are guys, but it's never been anything over business and platonic. But before he even would ask me about it, he went into accusing me of doing things with this person and whoever else. And it was way too early for that in the relationship without ever like asking me.
Yeah.
It was just straight accusation. And even after like I break down who this person is and I share my screen so he can see all of our messages and there's nothing there, he still dragged it out for like weeks and started treating me differently as if I did something to him.
Gotcha.
So that for me is a no.
And where are you meeting these men?
Randomly, like the one that I was just speaking on, I met him when I was at work part-time as a concierge, which was not my normal position. It was just something I was doing for extra money. And then the one that I spoke on first was when I went to Atlanta for a conference, and I was with my best friend / business partner, just like outside, like taking pictures.
Okay. And your question was, what does it look like to take it slow?
Yeah. And I asked that because in the most recent situation, I could tell that we are moving at different paces, and he wanted to be able to take things slow. Whereas for me, like, I want to move intentionally. Like, I just want direction. If you're not ready to, if you're not looking for that type of relationship, then there's a misalignment.
Okay, so when you
versus
say
you wanting
move,
to take it slow.
when you say move intentionally, what does that look like specifically?
So that can look like courtship, that can look like making future plans together, that can look like you being invested in what I have going on by through communication, like asking me questions, having an interest in what I'm doing, being attentive to my needs. Just I want to build partnership with somebody.
Okay. So the person that you are dealing with or dealt with last is not making plans for future dates or anything like that?
No, this person was long distant, and he he was in a situation before now. Like now he's better off. He has 2 jobs and he's neurodivergent, so he needed to get on his Adderall medication. And so now he, feels like he's in a better state. However, to me, that wasn't the issue. It's the fact that he doesn't know how to support me as much as he likes my support for him.
Okay. Okay. Um, why do you keep entertaining long distance?
I don't mind long distance. I tend to be very busy, and even in the long distance relationship, we FaceTimed every day. So we're tapping in every day and still building every day, but the actual like visitation isn't so often. So I guess it just hasn't been a deal breaker for me.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, the core issue that you're facing is I think you may have some degree of a fear of intimacy. 34, longest relationship being 4 months, doesn't play out. You would have just ended up in like at least a year-long relationship just off of an accident, right? So by you being 34 and your longest relationship being 4 months, you are an active participant in the relationship's not working out. And it might in part be due to your expectations. You may not be adapting to the situation where you are leveraging discernment to know when to give grace and when to cut something off, right? Because great relationships are built, they're not found, right? So you're just not going to find someone who engages you in the particular way that you want to be engaged. These are things that you learn about each other over time, right? So I'm sure you show up great. I'm sure you're being attentive, you're asking questions, you're being supportive, right? And I think that part of the assumption you're in is that the other person should just automatically do the same thing. They may not be in that headspace. But maybe if given some time, they could be. That's not to say that the situation that you cut off, like you shouldn't have cut none of them off, right? And some of the examples you gave, I think that you had good reason to. But I'm sure there's some in there that probably could have worked had there been a more healthier orientation to the connection. What also gives me a read that you have potentially somewhat of a intimacy issue is your willingness to do long distance. That's typically an avoidantly attached maneuver. People who are okay with long distance is not a natural state to be in. For all of human history, we've never just like had long distance relationships, right? Maybe you got with somebody and then circumstances led to that person like going off to war or something like that. So you effectively were long distance, but you're not just like meeting someone and being like, yeah, let's be on other sides of the country. Like that's
right.
That speaks to an intimacy issue. That speaks to your degree of comfort that you have with that is like showing that you kind of like the distance to a degree. It's not threatening to have someone that far. The distance serves the function of someone not being able to get too close to you. So that's what you would need to unpack in order to actually solve this issue. And I think that like, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Finish your thought.
when you say giving things enough time, how much time am I supposed to give when looking to build? Because that's when I set in a situation with somebody, especially because these men pursue me. If you're pursuing me, then I'm assuming that, and it's wrong to assume, but it's the clock starts now, and it's not that I'm ticking for you, but I am being intentional with the time that I'm investing with you and the communication. So how much time am I supposed to give?
It's a case by case basis, right? So like if you make a determination that the person is just not going to be the right fit, then the person isn't going to be the right fit. But are you like a religious person?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so there's a Christian motivation behind like you wanting to get married?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. The
Okay.
Bible does say be fruitful and multiply.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm with you. Okay, you got to stop. You're dating in the wrong way. So like the way you're orienting in this conversation is like, okay, you don't want to waste your time with a particular person, but you're engaging in connections that guarantee you're probably gonna waste your time, like the long distance ones. And also cutting people off so quickly is also wasting time in a different way. Instead of you wasting time with one particular person, you're wasting time like cutting people off. You're still wasting time because you're still unmarried at 34, right? So you're still wasting time. You just didn't waste time with one particular individual. Does that make sense? So we got to shift your strategy and how you're approaching things. I would advise cut the long distance out. That's the first thing. I would advise getting rid of the long distance. Second thing, I would get clear on what your non-negotiables are, because I think you're operating from like a gut instinct level, right? So it's like when you feel strong in your gut, like, okay, this isn't going to work. You're cutting people off. You can't trust your gut in this situation, though. You can't trust your gut here. So make a list, short list of grounded, realistic non-negotiables. Meaning, if someone is displaying this behavior, it maps to a really bad character trait. Give you an example: somebody lying to you, non-negotiable, right? So you list those out. If you're dating someone and they're displaying those qualities, you can X them immediately, right?
Right.
If someone is displaying a red flag that is not a part of the non-negotiable, give grace to a point. So they do something, you acknowledge it, right? Maybe set boundaries, maybe communicate. If there then becomes a pattern where what you're looking for in that specific situation is effort.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, you never make this mistake again. I think that's how you've been approaching it. It's like, well, we talked about this, did it again, I'm out, right? No one's going to meet that bar. You're looking for effort. Are you trying to get better? Because that's what the relationship is going to be like. When you actually be in a relationship with someone, they're not going to just course correct immediately forever after the first conversation. They're probably going to make multiple mistakes. You're going to do the same thing. You haven't been with anyone long enough for them to have real expectations of you. So you don't know what it feels like for you to fall short. Because everyone you've been dating, they've fallen short for you, right? But if you date someone long enough, you're going to fall short. And you're going to want them to give you grace.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Yeah, I'll sit on that. Thank you so much.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, all right?
Thank you. God bless.
God bless. And that was a good little combo, man. Said some new things there I haven't said before. These are long. They are long sessions. They are. I might have room for one more call. Let me see. Might got room for one more. Actually, no. I'm not taking any more calls. We'll end on a high note. How about that? What's going on, chat? How we feeling? You ready for Valentine's Day? Valentine's? Can I come up? No, I'm not taking any more calls. So if I didn't get to your call, come back tomorrow at 9 p.m. We can talk about it. We got to make these calls shorter, though. I don't know. Haven't cracked the code on that. homegirl going to a comedy show. Nice. Who y'all seeing? Galentine's. Hey, I need to crash somebody's Galentine's. Somebody give me